everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. So in today's video I've got this really gorgeous blue marble acrylic design set to share with you guys. I'm working on my Glamour Liz practice hand. I've made 3 of the nails into a coffin shape and I've left the little finger as a stiletto because I wanted this set to be really extra, so I thought I'd just mix it up a little bit with the shapes. Now I didn't record the first nail simply because I wasn't going to record this set because I was doing them really late. I just was going to have a little play around, but then I thought, you know what, I might as well stick my phone on and record them. But the first nail is very similar to the second anyway, so you haven't missed out on much. Anyway, on to the design. I've applied a thin wash of CJP coconut milk and then I've just blended that out, and then I'm creating a marble in the center part of the nail using Smurf and that same coconut milk. So I've just placed wet beads down, swirled them together, and then I'm just coming through with some of this mirror chrome powder from NSI, and I've just picked this up using my wet brush and I'm simply swirling it through the marble. So this is usually, you know, the type of chrome powder that you rub into a tack-free top gloss, but I just love the effect it gives off encapsulating it. And then I'm just tapping on some angel paper and gold leaf, but I'm not taking this all the way down to the free edge because I want the free edge to have that clear glass effect. And these 2 nails were inspired by an absolutely amazing set I see by Zach_PN. I will leave a link in the description box below to the picture on his Instagram. The set was absolutely gorgeous, and I was just going to have a play around and do 1 nail, but I decided to do an entire set on my Glamour Liz simply because I was just really enjoying doing some nails tonight. But yeah, like I said, the set he did was just absolutely out of this world. So I will leave the link below, so do check that out. Mine probably looks absolutely nothing like his, but it was really fun having a play around. And there I did just apply a thin wash of a super fine white iridescent glitter, but it just didn't pick up on camera for some reason. And then over the top of that, I'm using this chunky mix. This is from CJP, but unfortunately it doesn't have a name on it. But as you can see, it's a super chunky mix. So I'm just picking this up with small wet beads of acrylic and then nudging it around, taking it slightly over that marble and just trying to get a nice neat cuticle area with it. And then over the top of that, I applied a little bit more of that iridescent mix. And then I'm just tapping on a few more glitter pieces here and there. And then I'm coming in with some more of that gold leaf over the top of the glitter. This gold leaf is from Charlie's Nailer, and I do have a discount code for Charlie's, which is always in the description box below. And then over the top of that, I'm applying some angel paper. Like I said, I really wanted this set to look a little bit extra. And I love the fact that when you layer different things like glitter, the gold leaf and the angel paper, it just reflects differently in the light. And yeah, it just gives off a really pretty vibe once it had all been encapsulated and top coated. So I'm just making sure that everything I apply is applied in a thin layer and it's all lying flat, so that when I come to encapsulating, it all encapsulates with no problems. I did also decide to tap on a little bit of that angel paper at the tip there as well. So then that's those 2 nails done. As I said, this techniques done were very similar, but the nails do look slightly different. Onto the ring finger, and I'm coming in with that same CJP Smurf, and I'm just applying this to the entire free edge of the nail. This is going to be an ombre with some glitter, so I want to keep each layer quite thin so that I don't end up with a too bulky nail because it will need to be encapsulated. So I'm applying these beads of acrylic quite wet and just painting them on, and then just making sure to clean up the side walls so I don't lose too much of my shape. And then with this last bead here, I'm just tapping it out and pulling the top of the bead down, and then I just flip my brush into reverse and just blend it out slightly, just so there's not too much of a harsh line. And then I'm going to leave that to set because I always like to leave my first colour to set when doing any kind of ombre. So I've moved on to the ring finger. And I'm just applying coconut milk down at that cuticle area, getting a nice neat cuticle and then pulling it down towards the free edge of the nail. I'm not taking it all the way down to the tip because I'm going to be applying lots of fine glitter there anyway, so I don't need to worry about there being full coverage. But at the cuticle and nail bed area, I did want a more fuller coverage because I'm using that chunky glitter mix. So then I'm coming in with this white, it's got like UV particles in there, so that's why you can see the hint of blue, but it's a really super fine glitter mix, and I'm just applying this with thin wet beads of acrylic, building up the coverage so that there is full coverage on the tip of the nail. Just patting and pressing it out, making sure it's all lying nice and flat and even. And then I do just come in with another iridescent mix and apply that over the top. And again, doing exactly the same. I'm keeping my brush full of monomer. I'm using wet beads of acrylic with the glitter, just so I can really nudge them around and move them into place without too many of the pieces sticking to my brush. And then I'm coming in with that same CJP chunky mix down at the cuticle area. Again, keeping my brush full of monomer because you really need to move these pieces around to get them to where you want them to be. And I also want to make sure there's not too many overlapping and that they're all lying nice and flat. And then I'm just going to tap on a few more pieces, just picking them up with my wet brush so I can just tap them on where I want them to be without adding any additional acrylic, and then just sort of fading them down over the previous the previous glitter, just so there's sort of a chunky to fine glitter fade. I'm not actually sure if this colour is this glitter, is available to buy on its own from CJP. It was one of the ones that, do you know, like sometimes when you order their kits, you get a free glitter. This was where I got that from. So I'm not actually sure if it's available to buy on its own, which is a shame because it's such a pretty glitter mix. And then again, I'm coming in with some of that gold leaf just so the set all tied in together. Otherwise, I felt like this nail was a little bit out of place. So I'm just tapping on some of that gold leaf in amongst the glitter pieces. And then we're ready to move back to the ring finger because the blue has set. So here I'm coming in with, I think this is Cherry Blossom Blush. I will double check and leave it in the description box below, but just come in with a wet bead first of all to go over the blue. And then I'm coming in with my cuticle bead, tapping it into place at the cuticle area and then dragging it down over the previous bead of acrylic. This was a really tricky ombre because the blue is so bright and vibrant and I hadn't faded it out very much. So I'm just coming in with another bead of that cherry blossom just to build up the coverage a little bit more. It didn't create a perfect fade, so very far from, but I knew I was popping glitter over the top anyway, so I weren't too fussed. I just wanted to make sure that the nail bed area did look nice and opaque, so that was why I'm just coming in with more beads of acrylic there to build up that coverage. And then I'm just using a wet bead of crystal glass to pick up that chunky mix, and I'm going to place it down right in the center where that blend is and then just sort of swoosh it out from side to side. And then I'm just going to use my wet brush to pick up some more pieces of glitter and just again nudging them around until I'm happy with how they're all placed. And then again, I'm going to pick up some of those gold leaf pieces and tap them in again because I want all the nails to tie in together. And I felt like the gold leaf really pulled the set all together. So I'm just using my wet brush to tap these on. The acrylic from the glitter is already tacky, so it will hold them in place enough just to keep them where I want them to be until it does come to encapsulating. I just absolutely loved how this nail looked. I loved all of the nails, but I was really impressed with how this nail turned out in the end because the ombre really wasn't going to plan. So I was glad that the glitter covered up the fade. So this is what the nails looked like once I had finished all of the design work. I then went off camera, capped them in crystal glass, and I also did all of the filing off camera as well today. It was quite late when I did this set, so once I got to this stage I kind of just wanted to get them finished. But as you can see, I filed them all into shape, gave them a good buff and then scrubbed away all of that dust, and we're now ready to come in and top coat. I absolutely love this part, especially on a set like this, because it's just where the top coat just brings them to life, and I really loved how the gold and blue tones work together. I feel like it gave them a bit of an ocean vibe, so I was really pleased with how they turned out. So anyway, I'm using my CJP tack-free top gloss to top coat, and I'm just applying a nice even layer of this to all of the nails. I'll then pop them in my LED lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And then guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. I really enjoyed doing this set, so I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you did, then please give the video a thumbs up or let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you have any requests, then pop them in the comments below and I shall see what I can do. As always, check out the description box for all the products that I've used. And if you're watching and you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you considered hitting that subscribe button. I have left a clip at the end which shows you the finished result. It also really shows how the light picks up the glitters and stuff and reflects them all differently, so do check that out. There's also a picture there as well. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all again very soon in the next video. Lots of love. Bye bye.